Okay, just imagine this for a second. You're at home, all by yourself, and then out of nowhere, it feels like a truck just slammed into your chest. You can't breathe. There's nobody there to help you. It's a terrifying thought, right? But it's a reality for so many people. Now, what if I told you that there's a 10-second technique, a set of emergency switches built right into your own body that could actually save your life? You're going to want to stick around for this.
All right, let's dive right in. We're going to break all this down into 4 simple parts. First, we'll talk about why every single second counts, the race against time. Then, we'll get into the 3 core actions that can keep you alive. After that, we'll clear up some really important questions you might have. And finally, we'll lock it all in with a super simple checklist.
So, before we get to the how, we absolutely have to understand the why. In a heart emergency, time is the one thing you just don't have. And that makes you the single most important person in the room. This quote from a doctor with over 2 decades of experience, it hits you right in the gut. It's a powerful reminder that this battle is so often won or lost in those few minutes before an ambulance can even get to you. The stakes really couldn't be any higher.
And here is the terrifying math of it all. You call for help, right? But it takes an ambulance, on average, 8 to 10 minutes to show up. Your brain, though, it starts to suffer permanent damage after just 4 minutes without oxygen. See that gap? That gap between 4 minutes and 10 minutes? That's the danger zone. That's where you have to become your own hero. And this is why this information is not just a nice to have. It is absolutely essential. A staggering 70% of heart attacks happen when a person is completely alone. You just can't bank on someone else being there to save you, because chances are they won't be.
Look, this isn't just about statistics. Let me tell you about a real person, Herman. He's 72 years old, active, in good shape. Then, one morning, all alone in his house, it happened. A sudden, crushing pain. He said it felt like a giant stone was on his chest. He was literally drowning in air, drenched in a cold sweat. He was that 70% statistic.
So, what did he do? He didn't just panic and wait. He remembered a set of simple, powerful actions. Let's break down the exact plan that saved his life, the one that lets you flip your body's own built-in emergency switches.
Okay, the first switch is a cough. But listen, I'm not talking about a polite little ahem. No, I'm talking about a deep, forceful cough that comes from the very bottom of your lungs, like you're trying to launch something out of your throat. And you do this every 2 seconds. See, when your heart, your body's engine, starts to stall, this action creates a ton of pressure in your chest. It manually squeezes the heart and forces that precious oxygen-filled blood up to your brain. It's basically a manual restart.
The second switch? This is your own personal defibrillator. While you're doing that powerful coughing, you make a fist and you give a firm thump right to the center of your chest. This sends a physical jolt to the heart's electrical system, kind of like what the paddles do in a hospital. You're trying to shock a chaotic rhythm back into a normal beat. Herman did this about 5 times, and he said it started to ease that crushing pressure. Now for the third switch, your emergency stabilizer. Look at your hand. Find that fleshy, webbed part on the back of your hand, right between your thumb and index finger. You need to press this point, and I mean press it hard. So hard that it's actually painful. This intense pressure stimulates a key nerve that helps calm down a racing heart and stabilize your blood pressure. Think of it like pouring cool water on an engine that's overheating. It's all about buying yourself critical seconds and minutes. All right, so knowing these steps is huge, but I bet it also brings up some really important questions. It's not just about what to do, it's about understanding the what-ifs and whys around them. So on top of the physical steps, there's a chemical shield you can use, aspirin. A heart attack is usually caused by a blood clot blocking an artery. Chewing, and listen, it is absolutely crucial that you chew it, not just swallow it. A 500 milligram aspirin can act like a fire extinguisher on that clot, helping to stop it from getting bigger. But, and this is a huge but, this is not advice for everyone. You have to talk to your doctor about this beforehand. Find out if it's safe for you personally and what the right dose is. Do not do this unless your doctor has given you the green light. This is probably one of the most common and important questions people ask. If your bones are fragile, is it actually safe to hit your chest that hard? And that's a totally valid concern. And here's the brutally honest answer. You are literally choosing between a broken rib and a stopped heart. A bone can heal. A heart that is stopped for too long, that's final. In that life or death moment, you save the heart. Period.
Another deadly mistake is just brushing it off as bad heartburn. But the differences are usually pretty stark. A heart attack is typically this crushing pressure, not really a burn. It often comes with a cold sweat, and the pain can travel. It radiates out to your left arm or up to your jaw. You can't afford to mistake your heart's last cry for help for a little indigestion.
Okay, we have covered a lot of critical ground here. The science, the story, the facts. Now, let's just boil it all down into one simple, unforgettable checklist. This is what you really need to remember.
So here it is, the main takeaway. A 4-step sequence. Cough, thump, press, chew. This is your 10-second survival plan. It's your self-CPR, your manual defibrillator, your stabilizer, and your clot buster. I want you to burn these 4 words into your memory. They are that important.
And this brings us right back to Paul Herman. After he survived, this is what he said. This knowledge didn't just save his life, it completely transformed his fear into empowerment. You see, true health isn't just not being sick, it's being ready to face a crisis. So the final question I have for you is, what would you do to be the master of your own life?